If you find yourself saying, if only I had X, Y, or Z, a job, a relationship, a partner, a conversation, whatever, then my life would be better. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about how to actually have a transformation, and one that is going to create a breakthrough. How you see yourself, how you see the world. It's going to revolutionize your relationship. It's going to change how you interact with your spirit. It's going to change how you see yourself and have a life that's a lot more fun and in flow and present and kind to yourself and to others. And the key, the tool, as simple as it sounds, be open. Now, you might think, Sonia, like, be open. I am open. I'm open-minded. I'm here. I'm open to the spiritual realm. I'm open to different things. Well, the truth of the matter is that sometimes we often get fixed. Our ego, intellect, the part of us that organizes the world around us, our mind gets fixed and set in what we believe, how we see ourselves, how we see the world. And the biggest, hardest part about that is when we get into those beliefs, it disconnects us from our intuition. It disconnects us from our spirit. It disconnects us from our power. When there is an if only statement, if only I had this job, this relationship, this experience, then I would, takes any power out that you have. It disconnects us from the present moment where there are so many magical things happening right now. It gets us into our head, constantly having to figure it out. And the secret sneaky thing is it keeps pushing the finish line farther and farther and farther down the field. Because often it's like when you have that experience, the relationship, the job, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself with another if only. And that is the very funny way that our little ego intellect gets us stuck in these same cycles, circles, leaving us feeling stuck. So we can simply change our dynamic, change an equation in the system by cultivating being open. And that's also where we get intuitive guidance. That's where we find solutions. That's where we connect with our guides. So I'm going to share with you some tools, some ways that you can really practice some buffers, some checks to know where maybe we need to cultivate some of this openness and how we can start to bring that energy to ourselves and revolutionize all these different aspects of our life. And if you haven't seen me before, hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a 4th generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. And if you want to change your life, if you want to develop your intuitive mastery and skills, join me. I am teaching a workshop August 21st at 6 p.m. Central for the low cost of $10. The $10, the fast way to uncomplicate your life. It is so full, jam-packed full of tools, things, all sorts. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Like, bring yourself, get a cup of coffee, enjoy, and notice like these tools will create a whole new relationship with your intuition and with the world. And speaking of that, I'm also going to be launching my Psychic University, my 5-week-long live-led course. That's going to be in the fall. If you come to the workshop, you'll get $100 off enrollment. So come join me, check out the old notes below and sign up. So that is enough housekeeping. Let's talk about being open. So we get fixed. Part of our mind, part of our little ego intellect, its evolutionary job, its job is to save us energy. It wants to not have us protect ourselves from lions, tigers, bears, oh my. And what it does is it makes little maps, it makes little storyboards, and it becomes extraordinarily fixed. It becomes really, really fixed. And you can notice where your mind gets fixed on when you assume what you know the outcome will be. For example, I have a client, she was talking about with her family. She's a difficult family relationship and pattern. She wanted to have a conversation with her sister about whether or not she was going to go to a barbecue. And in her mind, she is all over, she's gonna react this way, and it's gonna be like this, and I have no choice. And you can just feel, just energetically feel all the power drain out of her. And with that, she's like, I always feel this way. I'm always in these relationships where I have to give, overgive, and not receive, and I'm exhausted by it. Pause, right? Pause. notice how there are some really big keywords that we can use as we start to train our awareness. That's your attuner, to notice where we can get stuck. For my beautiful, sweet client, I always feel this way. It's all, it never changes. This is how I am. This is how things will be. That is our mind that gets fixed. It's not open to new experiences. It's not open to something surprising her. It's not open to even having any sort of shift. And that fixedness, like I said, saves energy, but it also ends up shaping how we see ourselves, how we see the world, and keeps us stuck in these different patterns and ruts. So really simple. Tool number 1, as we're aware, using that awareness, that's your intuitive tuner, that's your superpower. Present. First, how does my body feel, right? We're just using this little dial. How does my body feel? When we are in ego, intellect, fixed, my mind is telling me this, we are in a story. We are not connected to how it feels in our body. We are not connected to our spirit. We are saving ourselves energy and looking at it compassionately, right? If I know X, well, if X happens, Y will always happen. Good information. Second, take a breath. If you follow my videos, my favorite tool always, rub your hands together. Pull them apart. Feel the dance of energy between your hands. Right? Go for it. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Deep breath. Close your eyes. Bring your attention inward to your heart space, to your breathing, to your spirit. You'll notice the chatter will start to quiet. This is an instant way to start to open ourselves up to the energetic awareness of feeling these different signatures. So write it out. Okay, we're anchoring into my spirit. Using your intuition, a simple question to ask your intuition out loud. Is that true? Is that true? For my client, is that true? That it's gonna always be this way and your sister's absolutely gonna respond like this. And wait for an answer to bubble up from your body. Now, here's the thing. Our little ego intellect gets very, very, very caught up and it really wants to prove its point. So what it will do often, and this is again where we're training our awareness, we'll go back into the story. Oh, well, it always happens like this and da-da-da-da and she this and that. If there's a lot of talking, that is your mind. That is not your spirit. That's not your intuition. That is a replay of the story over again. And usually it's a justification, it's an explanation, this is what I want and need. Pause. Practice centering into compassion for our human parts. Thank you so much. And I do this all the time in my own practices with my own ego intellect. Anchoring into our compassion, you say, thank you so much for trying to help me. But I'm gonna ask you to please step back and I'm just curious what my spirit has to say. And then in your mind's eye, give yourself psychic space to listen. Often when we acknowledge our little ego intellect that's coming in, trying to come in with the story, with the thing, it's trying to help. It's trying to help. So instead of being like, shh, stop, fake it. And notice how the energy will shift. Then ask the question again, is that true? And have an answer bubble up from your body. If it's complicated, if it talks a lot, if it doesn't, if you don't feel it and sense it, if there's, and keep practicing. Is that true? More often than not, no, it's not, right? The moment that we have, that story is not true, then we can ask our intuition to help to support us. Let me be curious and step into the third space of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how she's going to react. And I'm curious. And this is where we can energize with our spirit. And I expect good things. I trust that this will resolve itself in my highest good. And I trust that I help and support. This is a powerful way, one, of helping to train our ego intellect to be open. Say, we don't know. And I have help and support. I have options. I have guidance. I have ways that I know and can trust the unknown. We often don't like to step into openness because it's scary. We don't know what's going to happen. for our human parts, they're like, wait a minute, holy guac, that seems a lot scarier and more intense because I am out of control. Ego does not like that. I'm out of control. Instead of, I don't know, which means something new, beautiful, magical can come in, and also I know it will be resolved. This helps to also comfort, compassion, kindness that gives us more space, that actually brings us to present. When we're present, when you are present, the beautiful thing that happens is this is where we listen to our intuition. This is where we connect to others, where we connect to the spirit of others. This is where we open up to solutions. This is where we are guidable. So just so gently taking ourselves and bringing us back to present, to that place where we can connect, to get us out of our fixed storylines, brings us to that support and opens our heart up to joy, to openness that exists right now, no matter what's happening. And when we are open, really it means unrestricted. It's like the root word, I'm unrestricted, I have freedom. When our closed, we have set, we know the story, we know the loop, nothing else is gonna happen. And when we start to be open, we can also practice that in all sorts of different ways. It's like, oh, I'm always the one that's stuck. I always been overthinking. I'm always in overwhelm. Let's open. Maybe not. Is that true? No. Who would I want? What do I expect? What do I want instead? I'm gonna be that, directing our energy. So this week, I really want you to practice being open, noticing if you're not. The ego intellect can be really insidious. It can be really, really sneaky all the time. Or I'm like, oh, I'm open. I know it's my little barking dog Pete. It's like, oh, I'm open to that new experience. And as soon as I find myself in something that's a little uncomfortable, Pete's like, oh, I'm not that open. No, please. Even for myself right now, I've been learning how to DJ, and it's been a really fun practice. And I have a friend who invited me to play some music, and it's gonna just be me and some friends. It's gonna be very low key, stakes are very low, and my little ego intellect can have a big story that get fixed. That it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be a mess, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. I don't want anybody to see me. And I noticed that even in starting this process of just sharing something that I love, my ego intellect was not open to having the experience be a journey that could be joyful. My mind was fixed on how it would be. Probably wouldn't be good. My mind is fixed on probably shouldn't do that because X, Y, or Z. So instead, you know what? I am going to practice being open, connect with my spirit, and be curious about what will happen and show up from that place. And anytime I feel my mind, because often it's like anxiety will trigger us, anxiety will trigger me. I'm like, oh my God, what's the experience gonna be like? That's when we gotta fill in the blank pause. I don't know how it's gonna be. I'm curious, I wonder. I'm excited. I bet it's gonna be great. I trust my guides, my angels to really have a fantastic experience. And no matter what, I'm gonna learn flexibility. So practice this tool this week. Be open-minded and notice when we're in that receptive mind, how your intuition, how your sense of self, your story, your relationships completely change because you don't know. And that can be a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, let me know what are you cultivating for your open mind? What's a storyline that you're ready to change? Leave it in the comments, and most importantly, come to my workshop, $10. Please, the fastest way to uncomplicate your life. I would love to connect with you. Head to my website, soniatully.com, take your spirit type quiz, check out the podcast. You can work with me. I do intuitive readings, mentoring. I have all sorts of ways to support you, but I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you next week, and I'll see you at the workshop, August 21st. Bye.